Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. I hope you stay, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So today's video is kind of going to be a two-in-one because obviously I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on this look, and secondly I am going to be reviewing the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation by NYX in collaboration with ALISSA Ashley. So hopefully you guys stay tuned and keep watching this video, and let's get straight onto it. So to start off, I look like a 5-year-old kid and all I do is moisturize my face with the Hydra L'Oreal facial cream. It's actually really good for before applying my makeup. I don't know why I like it for that mainly, but that's mainly how I like to use it before applying my makeup, so I make sure to put that all over my face. Then fill in my brows. I actually use the Rimmel London eyebrow pencil, and this brow pencil is really pigmented, so all I do is just a line underneath and a line on the top and then fill that in. My brows do look very messy when I do this stage, but it's okay because I do conceal it. But when I tell you guys, this brow pencil is so good, and you need to go lightly. You can't even go hard on it because then you'll be looking like a clown. So next I put on primer. This is the Smashbox original primer. I love this primer. I'd say it's good for all skin types, so if you ever want a primer to try this one because bomb. So I did tell you I was going to clean up my brows. I wasn't going to go looking like a maddo. So this is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Concealer and Foundation in One. I think I said before that sometimes I don't like using on my face depending on the time of the year. But I do like using it to clean my brows. So this is my actual shade. I think it's in the shade 24, something like that. I'll check that, but all links will be down below. And I just use that to cover up my brows, you know the rest. I then brush out my brows, and I like to use a Clarins eyebrow pencil, or the brush end, because the brush sucks, the pencil sucks, but the brush is good, so I just use that just to brush up my brows. And then all I do is now conceal my eyelids using concealer. I think I use the Maybelline concealer. It's a really good concealer and it's not even expensive. Then just blend that out because I will be using shadows. So first for my crease, I went in with the Guerlain Terracotta bronzer palette, and I just used the darkest shade just to kind of make my crease dark and use a transitional color. And I did end up using something else, but why I like to use a color like this is because even though you can't see anything on camera, it's not really picking up on camera. When you use any color, when you blend it, because it's like a natural transition shade, it always looks better, if that makes sense. I always like to go in with a transitional color that's kind of closer to my shade, but then also a bit darker than my shade. So I'm going in with my Juvia's Place Magic palette, and this is the palette that I'm basically using predominantly for this whole look. And I go in with that shade Zakia, and I actually used that for my crease, but honestly it was not dark enough for me, so I did end up going in with a darker color. But Juvia's Place palettes, they're so pigmented, so you have to go in with a light hand, and I did like this orangey kind of look because I felt like it's giving me full vibes, and I just blended it in with that transitional shade that I use. That's why I always say transitional shade is good, because it's just blending it and making it look better than it probably would have been, because I always feel like you need a neutral shade to have as a transitional shade. But one thing I will say about this palette quickly is that I do love it, but it's missing a darker transitional shade. So next I went in with the color down below, which is called Nana, and I wanted to go just below that crease color but also blend it in with that Zakia shade. And again, obviously you see me blending, but like I said, it wasn't dark enough, so I did go in with that Smashbox palette, the matte Covershot, and that is the brown shade in there, and then I just used that to darken up my crease. And when I got to that, I was just like, yes, that is the look I'm looking for, that is what I'm going for. So I focused that dark brown shade mainly on the outer corner of my my eyes, and then I blended it in lightly into the inner corner of my eyes because I wanted it to be more of a gradual, so you can kind of see the transitional shades of the eyeshadows. So I made sure it was deeper in the corner, and also because it also has that Zakia shade, it's giving it kind of like a burnttish orange, a warm kind of brown shade. So I do go back with that Zakia shade, the orange that you see me pointing to, and then I focus that more towards the middle to the inner part of my eyes, just so you can now start to see the gradual shade, as you can see, you can kind of see a gradual difference. So I do use a little bit more. I go with a little bit of a heavier hand now so that you can see the actual difference, but not too heavy because I still don't want it to look very bright. I kind of still want it to have an autumnal vibe. So I do blend a lot, like you will see me doing, and I do keep going in with that brown just to make sure it's dark enough for me personally. So now I'm going in with the shade Bronu, and it's this really nice goldish color, and you're gonna see that I'm using a fluffy brush, and you might be thinking, why would you use a fluffy brush for this type of shade? Because I know that usually people use flat brushes, but like I said, I did want a more toned down, subtle look. And let me tell you something about Miss Juvia's. Miss Juvia's palettes are so pigmented that if I didn't use that, it would have overshadowed the whole look, and I did want a more gradient look. So as you can see, I'm going in with that color more towards the inner part of my eyes so that you can kind of see that gradient between all three different colors. And just a quick tip, if you're ever using a shiny color like this and you want it to look more toned down, don't use a flat brush, because usually those flat brushes pick up products a lot more and make it a lot more intense on the eyes, which is why I use this blending brush, because it's a lot more fluffy, it's more light, and it doesn't pack on product a lot more, so you can kind of blend it out and give it a more subtle look and a gradient look like I have done here. I now went in with the Inglot Gel Liner. I really do like this liner, but where it's quite old, I feel like it's getting quite stiff and it's not as black as it used to be, in my opinion, so I do feel like maybe I need another one. But just a tip for beginners, I feel like felt tip pens are great, but I just can't find mine. That's why I didn't use that. But this is a really good gel liner, but I'm going to be honest, when using a pencil, try and use a really stiff angled pencil, because I feel like when it's stiff, it works a lot better. This one was kind of new. No, it was just clean, so it was all soft, which is kind of annoying. Like, a dirty brush is so much better. So I then go in with the lashes, and the lashes I used were Opulent by Eylure. These lashes were so pretty, but I did such a dumb mistake. Well, actually, it wasn't dumb at the time. It felt very smart. Basically, when you first put it on, it's sticky already, so I didn't need to put any lash glue on. I was about to, and then when this eye stuck, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it on the other eye too. But then the other eye just decided not to stick, and it kept on like messing about the whole video. You'll probably see me playing it with a bit, so I just had to put lash glue in the end for that one lash. So now I went in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and I'm in the shade Walnut, and I used the NYX buffing brush, which I also just tried, which was new, to blend in my foundation. And when I tell you guys, I'm not going to say too much because I will be doing a review at the end if you stay tuned for that, but I'll just give you a little bit of details. And what I will say is that this is a very matte foundation, but it doesn't feel matte. So that's a good sign already. And it does dry very quickly, so you have to work with it quick. But that's what I'm telling you for now. Stay tuned till the end. Now all I'm doing is going in with concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I really like this concealer. It's really creamy, and it's a concealer that literally you can just stay there. You can do whatever the hell you want with it, and it's not going to be hard to blend. It's still going to blend easily, and for the price, this is a really good concealer. And all I am doing is just blending this out with this brush. This is from Real Techniques, and I really like using this brush to blend out my concealer. Now all I'm doing is setting my concealer with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I love this powder, and yes, I'm using the same brush. I just really like this brush for setting my face, and as you can see, I don't let it set. I don't just put it on, let it set. I actually buff it in with the brush because I feel like it works so much better for me, especially if you have oily skin. Trust me, this is the way to go. And all I do is just wipe off the excess when there is excess and spray the rest off with Mario Badescu. I then go in with the Mario Badescu facial spray. I use this to get away any powderiness that would have been on my face, because I do feel like I had some powderiness, and also just blends everything in and smooths everything in. I then go in with my Four Seasons Terracotta Guerlain bronzer and I bronze all over my face. I really like that bronze look, so I do apply a lot of this, and then I just use the pink shade for my cheeks. This is in the shade 08 Ebony. So now for the highlight. I absolutely love this highlight. This is the Master Chrome Maybelline highlight. It is so buttery, so creamy. It feels amazing for a drugstore highlight. And also I just apply it to the bridge of my nose, my cheekbones, and a bit on my jawline. So I kind of wanted to smoke out the bottom lash line just to give it a little bit of something extra. So I went in with that same dark brown shade from the Smashbox matte Covershot palette, and I also went in with the shade Zakia, which is that orangey-ish warm deep red tone type of shade, just underneath that, just to kind of smoke it out and also give it something a little extra. I then wanted to coat my bottom lashes with mascara. I used the Lancome, I think it's Doll Eyes mascara. I love this mascara, it's like great. And then I went in with the Master Chrome highlight again, just to highlight my brow bone, but again, because like I said, it's very pigmented, I did use a light hand. So I then went in with the MAC Chestnut Lip Liner and I used this all over my lips. I feel like this is a perfect autumn shade, and I just went over with the Gloss Bomb, the Fenty Glow Lip Gloss Bomb, whatever you call it, and then I just sprayed my face with Mary Badescu, and that is the end of the look. So let's just talk about the foundation. First, let's start with the claims. It claims that it's lightweight, waterproof, matte, full coverage, transfer resistant, 24-hour long wear, and it controls your shine, mattifies your complexion all day long. Also, it's suitable for normal, oily, combination, and sensitive skin types. So let me just say that it is a very, very matte foundation. It literally doesn't feel matte though, which is really good. So I actually do understand how it can be for multiple skin types. I am oily, so it definitely was not an issue for me. It's definitely full coverage. It hid my blemishes that I wanted to hide, so that was great. And it 100% is transfer resistant. I even proved it by putting my face on a white towel and nothing transferred, which I was shocked about. It does dry very quickly, so you do need to work with it fast. And I'm not sure about the 24-hour long wear because obviously I didn't try that, and also I don't know about the waterproof because also again I did not try that. However, I did do my makeup with the heating on, and usually this is how I can tell if foundation is good, because if the heating's on I do sweat a bit, so I didn't notice any separation. My face stayed put, so I would believe the waterproof thing. But if you would like to see that, give me a thumbs up and let me know down below. But what I will say is that this is a really good foundation, and for the price it works literally like high-end foundation, so I strongly recommend it. Give it a 10 out of 10. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Adios!